everybody. Welcome to 500 Open Tabs. I'm Hannah Hillam.
And I'm Kaveh coming to you guys on this day of our Lord and Savior, All Hallow.
Halloween.
What's his name? Halloween? What's his name? Saint
I don't
Halloween?
know. So there's no saint assigned to this holiday.
Why not? Get on that, Hannah. You know the Jesus-y people.
Oh, sorry. I'll call Jesus and ask him.
Yeah, call Jesus and demand.
I'll just call him on the phone.
I thought he lived in Utah. Wasn't that the whole thing?
He doesn't. I hate to say it.
It's a bummer. Listen, if somebody's listening knows Jesus Christ directly and can reach out to him and let him know that we need a saint for today.
A saint assigned to the pagan holiday of Halloween.
Yeah, why not? Listen, today we're recording on Halloween because we're slightly behind our schedule in terms of having banked episodes. So it's not our official Halloween episode. That was from last week, but today is the actual recording on Halloween day.
Today we have 2 Halloween episodes. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Do you have cool plans for tonight for Halloween other than trick-or-treating with your kids, I imagine?
Just trick-or-treating with the kids, yeah.
That'll be fun.
Yeah. I mean, nowadays everybody takes their kids out when it's still light because of like safety, which makes sense.
It's smart.
So we're going at like 6. So
it's all right. It'll be all right.
It's fine. But yeah, I got some K-pop demon hunters in my crew tonight. My daughter's Mira and my son is Derpy. And
nice.
They look great. And I went to their little costume parade today, and there was about 17 roomies and Miras and Zoes, and half the school's dressed as K-pop demon hunters.
I love K-pop demon hunters. It's quite a popular franchise these days. Speaking of K-pop demon hunters, this was my... Check this out.
Are you in a K-pop group? Oh, right. Oh, you guys. Check out his shirt. Go to the YouTube and look at it.
If you go to the YouTube, this is my... This is what I had for New York, and I also have shirts of them that I'm selling now on the website. So, you know what? I got a podcast. I might as well advertise for my own shit.
Yeah.
So it's my Calvin and Hobbes and K-pop Demon Hunters mashup. So it's Calvin as Rumi and then Hobbes as Derpy. And it's pretty fun.
Yeah.
And it's been doing pretty well. And people are very excited about it. I went to Lightbox last weekend. Everybody kept stopping me. Where'd you get that shirt? I love it. And I was
like, let me tell you. Go look at his shirt. It's awesome. I wore it to like a bunch of school functions and a bunch of people loved it. And I gave out your website.
Yeah. Thank you.
But go check it out, and we'll put a link. We'll put a link to it.
Yeah, let's put a link to it in the show notes and stuff too, if anybody wants to get it.
But what are you doing for Halloween? You and Sarah doing anything fun?
Yeah, we're gonna go see a concert tonight. Do you know who it's gonna be?
No.
It's our boy John Carpenter. He's playing a show in downtown Los Angeles on Halloween.
Perfect.
Yeah, I'm freaking out. I'm so excited.
That's exciting.
Yeah, it's going to be very fun.
Like I'm not in my 20s anymore thing.
Yeah,
I'm going to an orchestra performance of John Carpenter's movies.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. Anyway, that's all I have to say about Halloween. Hopefully, you guys, by the time you're listening to this, you have not been poisoned by fake candy. If you have not listened to last week's episode, go ahead and do that now, 5 days after Halloween, to know that
don't eat the candy. It's full of...
Eat the wrappers is what we said. Yeah, we're like eat wrappers
that's right. Eat the wrappers so it protects your stomach lining from the poison.
That's where all the nutrients are. Yeah,
it's all the nutrients are in the wrapper, as my mother always said, growing up. All the nutrients are in the stickers on the fruit. No. Well, should we get going?
Yeah, I was gonna say I think you should go first this week. What do you got for us, Anna?
I've got a pretty wild story for you.
Oh.
It has everything. This has everything in it. It has a boat.
Love it.
It has
Love a boat.
Questionable 1970s social science experiments.
Okay.
It has hot people. It's got an unhinged anthropologist, a literal poop deck, and shark wrestling.
I'm sorry, shark wrestling? Like wrestling with sharks or sharks wrestling each other?
No, wrestling with sharks.
Nice.
Murder plots, teamwork.
This
Man's
is a lot.
hubris, mutiny, and of course,
oh my goodness.
Sex.
All right.
So this is from an article from The Guardian in 2019 by Stuart Jeffries called Mutiny on the Sex Raft, How a 70s science project descended into violent chaos. So
yes.
I know. So
amazing. Also, Mutiny on the Sex Raft is like a great band name.
An incredible name, right?
Yeah.
So our story begins in 1972 when Mexican anthropologist Santiago Genoves was heading home from a conference on humans and violence. So he's an anthropologist that studied violence in humans and apes and stuff like that. Yeah. And he's sitting on the Southern Airways Flight 49, and it's getting hijacked. And he's just sitting there Yeah. But apparently everyone was hijacking
A lot of
planes
hijackings
in
in the 70s. Yeah, for sure. Where was this?
I think Alabama, I want to say. It came from Alabama. It hijacked somewhere else and then it diverted to Cuba. So we're in the air, they're getting hijacked, and everyone's freaking out. Except for Santiago, who
He's all taking
feels
notes.
No, he feels alive. He's like, this is incredible. Like he gets to watch everybody react. It's kind of sociopathic, but like,
yeah, I was gonna say
he's like in
a bit of privilege here of just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be fine. I think
I'll be
so
fine.
interesting.
You'll see through this whole story that Santiago has way too much confidence in his safety. So Santiago's like, this gives me an idea. What would it be like to like put everybody in a small space and see if violence happens?
Why? Why would you want to do that? I was inspired by a plane that I was on that was getting hijacked to be like, how do I make life worse for people and study it? Hey, guess what? You don't need a PhD on that. It sucks. People are awful.
Yeah.
End of PhD.
You see, you're ahead of everybody in this whole story already. You're already like, you would not have
They'd be
listened
like,
to this guy.
sorry, you didn't cite all your sources from like the teacher or like the advisor's book that he wrote. By the way, that happened to me in my master's program where I wrote this excellent paper that I've mentioned before on the podcast, and they were like, you didn't source the teacher's book, so I got docked down. Like, oh great, I got a B+ instead of an A, which I rightfully deserve. So I have a lot of anger about higher academia, terminal degrees. Yeah, exactly, that kind of stuff. Anyway, continue.
There's don't worry, he takes academia and throws all of that out the window.
He puts academia onto the raft to bang like sharks and wrestle with them afterwards.
He bangs academia. Okay.
Bang, marry, kill. Academia, sharks, and self-learning on the internet.
Sources.
Academia, trade school, and self-taught. What are the three? Bang, marry, kill.
Let's see. I would kill academia.
Really?
No, hold on.
Interesting choice.
Self-taught and trade school. I would marry trade school. I would bang self-taught, and I would kill academia.
Listen, the only reason I would marry academia is because of tenure, and I feel like it would have like a sustainable income for a longer period of time. Yeah. I'd probably kill self-taught at this point. Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. Oh, you're right, because it's ruining the world.
Yeah. Not like nice, smart people who are like interested in pursue their interests. I'm talking about people who are like, the earth is flat because I watched a YouTube video and I know, and like, that's the kind of thing that I'm like, you should die. Anyway, I've derailed you. Sorry. We're talking about shark sex on a boat.
I was going to say, we're not talking about shark sex on a boat.
Hijacked.
Just not doing that. No, we're not. You're already hijacking this whole story.
Hey, that's racist. I am commandeering this story, all right? It's called Mutiny.
You are commandeering you're commandeering this plane. Okay. It's funny, whenever we play Bang, Marry, Kill, and yes, everybody, we play that game and it's on the Patreon because it's not allowed on YouTube anymore. I always just go with my gut, and then you always come in and say, yeah, but what about this? And it always changes my mind about who I'm going to kill and who I'm going to bang. Because
I'm always thinking about, like, how do I sustain myself? Like, the marriage thing is very, like, how can you milk this for the rest of your life for something that's, like, logical to be involved in? This is just called growth. I mean, this is like, I've dated enough girls where I was like, this girl's fun, but like, I don't think we're going to be able to spend the rest of my life with this girl, even though it's fun.
Right. Oh, yeah. It wasn't until I was like dating Sean that I is what people feel like when they're like, I can see this going on forever.
That's why I have a wife now, because I was like, marry Sarah.
I was just waiting. I was like, I don't want to marry any of these people.
Yeah.
Back to the Sex Raft. So he's on this airplane and he's like, alive with like, his big science brain is like, what can I do? And he remembered that one of the things that makes apes violent is that they fight over ovulating females. And so he was like, maybe humans are the same. Mm-hmm. And what, how can we like recreate this kind of terrifying atmosphere?
And then put an ovulating woman in the middle of this raft as well?
Yes. So
oh God.
The 70s were so insane, dude. Like science, there was no like scientific method that was respected. There was, but like no one listened.
Sorry.
And
can I pause you for a second? This is the middle of the hijacking is when he's thinking of all, like, what happens to the plane getting hijacked? What happened? You just goes to Cuba?
Yeah, they land it and then they get what they want, which is money, I think.
Who was the person who was hijacking it? Do you know?
Just three dudes. Three three like American
Are
guys.
they like Cuban nationalists or something? Like what is?
No,
what is, oh, okay.
They wanted people to release prisoners or something, and then they wanted
You're like, we're just going to
demands.
skirt past this whole like plane getting hijacked.
I'm sorry. The hijackers had handguns and grenades, and they wanted a ransom of $10 million.
Damn.
And that's what they got. They didn't get that. I'm sorry I didn't read about the hijacking. Okay? I was too focused on the sex raft.
I was going to say, you're very much like this guy is just like, oh, this hijacking is interesting. I'm going to think about this other experiment that I can put together instead of knowing whether or not this plane crashed and everyone died on the inside or not. But I'm sorry, continue. Fine. How rude of me to ask about what happened with the hijacking.
The plane traveled for 30 hours in the air before they finally landed it.
Oh.
And everyone's freaking out. And this whole time it gives Santiago a bunch of time to think about human violence and why that has to happen. And why can't we just be living in peace? You know, the 70s, that's what they were all, thinking. He wanted to solve world peace. He wanted to figure out how we can achieve world peace.
Okay.
Through putting people on a raft.
Through sex rafts, yeah.
So while he was on this flight, he thought about all of this. And then when he got off, when the flight finally landed after 30 hours in the sky and, ransom paid, maybe not all of it paid, but I should have read more about it, but I didn't. It had something to do with Cuba. And they landed in Cuba and he was like, that was wild. What if I did something like that? And he had some experience because he used to be on this boat. He did this whole experiment alongside this guy named Thor Heyerdahl, a Norwegian anthropologist who had some questionable beliefs about who got to the New World first. And they were trying to figure out if Europeans could have gotten to Samoa first or to South America and not Europeans, like Northern Europeans, like Norwegians.
Yeah.
And so he had joined this guy on a shaky kind of a really they made a boat out of paper. They made a boat out of papyrus.
Escaping out of prison? Like what happened?
So Thor and his team made a boat out of papyrus because he's like, okay, fine, I'm going to see if Africans or Egyptians could have gotten to the New World before Columbus. And he proved that, if they had
made a boat out of paper.
Built a boat, I guess it was how Egyptians they just used a ton of papyrus to make these really
I don't actually know what papyrus is. I only know it as the font that everyone hates.
Okay, all right. Doesn't matter. Papyrus is paper.
Okay.
It's paper.
So why call it papyrus? Is it a different kind of paper?
Because it's made of papyrus.
What is papyrus?
It's a plant. It's like reeds that grow on the Nile.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Make them into paper.
You learn something new every day on this show.
Hopefully. So he had some experience on these boats with this Norwegian anthropologist. And even though the boats did crash, they did make it across. And so he had that in mind. And he also had the whole apes want ovulating females. So I'll combine the two and I'm going to build a boat. And I'm going to call it the Peace Project because he wants to solve world peace. He wants to figure out how the world can live in peace.
Okay.
So here were the parameters. So the boat was only 20-something feet long. I'll see your face. You look horrified.
This is a terrible idea. This is an awful idea.
It's awful. Here, I'm going to send you a picture of the boat. So here's the boat. It's called the Acali, and it means in Spanish, it means home on the water.
Okay.
You see it? Do you see how tiny it is?
This looks like it broke off of Mos Eisley somewhere, and it's just floating in the sea.
It's just this tiny rectangle, and it had no engine. It had only sails. So he was saying, okay, we are going to start in the Canary Islands in Spain, and we are going to sail to Mexico in 100 days, and we're going to see what happens.
Is he on it?
Of course. Of course.
This is awful. I hate
Even
this.
Worse.
This is upsetting me already. This is just the worst.
No, I will tell you right now, there's a heartwarming part to this. So you can hate Santiago all you want, but give the sex raft a chance, Kaveh.
Okay, let's keep going, yeah.
So his whole thing was that he wanted people to sign these contracts that said, you can't read books. You have to kind of sign over all of your will and mind and body to Santiago's experiment.
This sounds like a cult. This is like a sex cult 100%. On the water. That's all this is. This is Charles Manson being what if we were on the sea instead of in the middle of the desert or something, right?
Right. In the middle of some ranch in California.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's for science. Don't worry. I'm Jim Jones. Let's all drink
it does feel
Kool-Aid
that way.
in the water while I bang you all.
seawater Kool-Aid. Oh, he didn't get banged at all.
He didn't.
So
he was in the cuck chair. No. There is a cuck chair on that raft somewhere. The raft cuck. The cuck raft. It's a cuck raft. That's all it is.
I was gonna make the cuck chair joke, but you
apologies
beat me to it, so.
all around.
No. I'm glad you got there before I even was able to, because I'm glad you're seeing this guy.
Yeah.
So he wanted to see what would happen when he put all these people in together, and he had all these charts that he was going to track, like their moods, the moon cycles, the waves, the height of the waves, the season, the menstrual cycles of the women,
their astrological signs, like what
science.
Yeah.
And so he did all these. So he put out this advertisement in the papers all over the world. Like he paid for multiple papers to have this advertisement that was like, "Hey, I need some people to join me on this raft for 100 days." For the most part, he had there was like 100 people who applied, and he got it down to 10. 6 women.
Rigorous process of whittling it down.
6 women and 4 men. All of them are hot.
Okay. This sounds like a reality show now. Yeah.
I know. It's like Love Island, but
6 women, 4 men.
With 70s butch.
They're all hot. Yeah, exactly.
They're a bunch of hotties. So I'm going to tell you who he got. Okay. So another thing is he was like, we may as well try to like flip the genders too. So like all the women are going to have the important roles and all the like quote unquote manly roles, and all the men are going to have the menial tasks. And we're going to see if that pisses everybody off and see if we can incite violence.
Bunch of secretaries on the boat, as you like to point out all the time.
Yes. So he, at the end of this, he wanted there to be violence. He wanted there to be arguing. He wanted there to be fighting over women. So he gets these people, and one of them is Maria Bjornstam, and she's a Swedish boat captain. She's 30, and she's like the first female boat captain in the world, I read in some places.
That's cool.
And he wanted a female boat captain because he wanted to see what the men would do having to listen to a woman, which that just sounds like you're sexist anyway, Santiago. Anyway.
Yeah, of course.
He gets her, and she's like really nervous about it. She's like, I don't know about this. Like, what do you want me to do? You want me to?
I'm a real boat captain. Why would I go on some
she's like,
cuck raft
I
for
have
100 days? Yeah. Why did she do it?
Well, because he did end up telling them about the experiment. He was like, we're going to try to figure out how people from very different backgrounds and countries and cultures, what will happen if we all go on a boat together, if it's going to be, we can learn how to have peace. And it was very, everything you're thinking. Yeah, none of this is scientific.
Is this the actual origins of like the Viking cruise line? Is that basically, you're like, and then he became a CEO and had this giant business. That's all it was. It's the very first Disney cruise. Sorry, I keep interrupting. Keep going. So
Maria Bjornstam was like, okay, yeah, I'll do it. And then he got one of his former students, Jose Perez. He's an Uruguayan anthropologist who's 34, hot. And just as a thing, everyone was like, oh, Jose, everyone's hot. Jose was like this kind of quiet, like academic anthropologist, former student, and he was invited on. And then there was Faye Seymour. And Faye was a 23-year-old mother and engineer, and she was married. And she decided to do it because she was like, well, why not? This could be fun. She's going to go on the Bang cruise for 100 days? No one ever says there's a sex involved. Here's the thing about the Sex Raft.
It just happens.
The sex was kind of hinted at. He wanted that to happen. He never said to anybody, hey, I want you all to bang each other.
I see.
But he wanted them to have a bunch of hotties on there and to see what happens. And hopefully they bang and fight.
This guy's literally just like a reality TV producer. That's all he is.
Yeah. It's funny because the guy who made a documentary about this said that. He was like, if he was alive today, he would 100% be a reality TV person.
Yeah.
So we got Faye, and then we have Servan, who is a 32-year-old French scuba diver, and she was extremely good at what she did. So she would be in charge of going in the water and fixing like the rudder or whatever needs to be fixed. So kind of like the ship's mechanic.
Yeah.
And then we have Charles Anthony, a 37-year-old Greek Cypriot radio operator who was in charge of the radio. And then we have Rashida Mazani, an Algerian librarian, the youngest and an absolute smoke show. And then we have Mary Gidley, and she's a single mother of 3 from California. She's a jack of all trades. She saw the ad because she worked at the paper, and she was also fleeing a husband who had just tried to kill her. And so she was like, I know what I'll do. I'm going to get on a boat and disappear for a bit. Then we've got Eisuke Yamaki. He's a 29-year-old Japanese cameraman, and he's very quiet. He had no idea. He thought he was just getting hired to document this trip. He did not know he was going to be part of the actual
it.
experiment.
Okay.
Then we have Edna Jonas, a Czech-Israeli doctor who's 32, and she was going to be like the medic. Okay. And then last but not least, we have Bernardo Bongo.
Is that his real name?
Yes.
Bernardo Bongo sounds like a made-up racist name.
He's a Catholic priest from Angola. So he wanted to bring a priest on there because he's like, that'll make it tense. Because people will feel shame.
Oh, because they're not going to be able to bang while the priest is hanging out in the
or
next
they'll feel
room.
like he wanted to like make people feel like shame. And I'm like, dude, you're just projecting. That's what that is.
Yeah.
And he was 29. So that's their crew, right? People from all over the world.
Extremely diverse. Yeah. There's like
Super
two people
diverse.
that are not white, and then the rest of them are all Europeans.
There
Love
are
it.
4 people who are not white.
Okay.
So, yeah. So Faye and Bernardo are both black. Rashida is Algerian or Middle Eastern. I think she said she had like, oh shoot, I don't remember. She's
Algerian, North African, yeah.
And then we have Eisuke, who's Japanese.
Japanese,
so,
yeah.
Yeah, and then we have a couple French people. And they start off, right? So they're getting on the boat. They all fly out to the Canary Islands, and they're getting on the boat, and Maria, the captain, her boyfriend's like, hey, did you read this contract?
Uh-oh.
And she's like, yeah, I don't know. Did I? And he's like, yeah, I don't think any of you read this contract. This is what it says, that you need to, you're pretty much signing over, like, it's like a slave contract. You're signing over everything to this guy. He has complete control over you. And she's like, well, I didn't sign it. I'm still going to go. And he's like, you can't go on this. And she's like, I'm going to go on this. And so she just ditches her boyfriend. And like, I get it. Like if some guy was like, you can't do this, I'd be like, whatever, I'm going to do it. You know, I do what I want.
If somebody was like, this is a terrible idea, and you're signing a slave contract, you're like, I'm going to go out of spite because I don't want a man to control me. I'm going to have this man control me because I decided that he gets to control me.
Isn't that what feminism is?
Exactly. That's what they fought for. Yeah.
That's what we all fought
for. To voluntarily agree into a legally binding slave contract.
And I don't know, like, I didn't get to read the contract, but like a lot.
You sound like her. I didn't get to read. I didn't exactly read it, but like, you know,
it was sketchy.
Seems fun.
It was. You had the whole part about being like signing over your will or whatever, like your mind and body to him, and he was like, her boyfriend was like, "What
insane?
Are you doing?
Yeah,
I can't just sit by and say nothing." Yeah. Anyway, she did not listen to him. Sean, if you're listening, I would listen to you if you said that. Okay, don't worry. I'm not going to go on a sex cruise
Sean's not
with a
listening.
bunch of psychos.
Come on. What are you talking about?
He's listening from that room.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
Because he can't help. He has no choice. So they get on the boat, and it all is it's kind of chill. Like people are a little nervous at first, especially because they have to poop like out in the open.
Oh,
right?
no,
so
forget it. Done. Experiment over. I'm going home immediately.
No one pooped for like 3 weeks.
Yeah. What is it, me at a convention?
Yes. So the poop deck, it's a literal one. So it was like this cage that went off the side of the boat with a hole in it. And you just go over and hold the sides of the cage and lower yourself and go. And Eisuke, the cameraman, was like, yeah, and hopefully you were lucky if the sea, washed you off. Otherwise, you'd have to kind of wait for it to wash you off. And then Faye was like, I always went really fast because there were sharks following us. So this entire trip, they'd see sharks like around their boat, following their boat. And reminder, they're not being propelled by anything but the wind. They're just floating. It's just like this boat with people on it. I'm going to send you some more pictures, okay? Here they all are on the boat.
They're just dropping bricks the whole time, and that's why the sharks are following them?
No, I think the sharks were like, what's going on here? It was just shark-infested waters.
Hey, look at all these young kids.
Faye was saying, she's like, yeah, it was really awkward at first, but after a few weeks, everyone just got extremely comfortable with each other. And there was flirting that happened, but there wasn't any anger or violence. So that was what was pissing him off. He was like, why aren't they fighting?
Assholes, what the shit?
He was so angry. He was like, what? Like he has all these diaries that he was like, why aren't they fighting? I've made the conditions perfect. They're all hot. They're all bangable. They're all on a boat together. There's like nowhere to sleep because everyone was like sardines in this tiny little like no one had any privacy. And there was nothing for them to do. But instead of fighting and arguing, they ended up working together as a team a lot more than he was comfortable with. Mm-hmm. And so this is where he starts getting really angry and violent. So he is craving their downfall because he just wants to study them being violent. As you know, all scientific experiments, you need to go in with an idea of what you wanted to end up with like anyway.
Yeah. He's like, this show sucks. I need to change the channel.
And so he had been doing all of these, like, every week they do like these questionnaires, and he'd be like, who are you most attracted to? Who do you hate?
It's like high school. It's like the what is this called? The thing.
The little like opener thingy.
The paper, like who do you, and then you pull it back and you're like, who do you have a crush on? Right. What is it called? I thought you would know what this is called.
I don't remember.
Damn it. Sarah's in the other room. I can't ask her. The foldy thing that you put your fingers in and you go back and you know what I'm talking about.
Catcher.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Some origami foldy thing, and then you would
there's like the origami, you put your fingers in it and you count, and
people are screaming. The tens of listeners are yelling at the speakers right now. Be like, it's called this.
There's only we only have 10 listeners, which means we can make a boat with them on it.
That's true.
So he's pissed because everyone's starting to be friends and like getting into this groove of like, here's our jobs. And none of the men are annoyed that the women are running things. None of them are threatened. And instead they just like start becoming friends, and they're having fun and laughing. Yeah. And he was like, I don't like this at all. And so he starts using those questionnaires that he takes of them and telling each other what each other said. So he was like, Edna, Jose thinks you're the most annoying woman on earth. Or like, or
wait, but they did say this on the questionnaires, but they did not.
Yes.
Oh, they did.
Okay. So Maria, the captain, saw through it immediately. She was like, actually, you're insane. I hate you. She hated him from the beginning. And she's like, I'm not telling you anything. But some of the other people were like, here's my answers, because this is for a science experiment. Like,
you got to be honest.
You got to be honest. And so he was like, who do you want to bang? Who do you hate? You know,
bang,
what
marry,
makes
kill.
you angry?
Seriously. He was doing his own scientific bang, marry, kill.
It was like a scientific bang, marry, kill. And he would then, when no one was fighting, he sat everyone down and he was like, okay, boat meeting. We're going to play a new game called the Truth Game. And it's just pretty much me reading all of these out.
This is just like, it's being run by Lucille Bluth, or he's like, her words, not mine. It's like when Lucille's trying to pit them against each other all the time. That's basically Lucille Bluth is running this. Yeah.
And he was like, this person said this about you. Mm-hmm. And everyone's like, dude, why would you do this? Like, that's rude. And it didn't work. Because everyone was like, well, I said that about you when I didn't even know you. Or like, I was in a bad mood that day. Did he write that down? And it was smoothed over pretty quickly. And it just enraged Santiago. He was like, you guys are supposed to be farting. And so he writes in his diary one day that there was a day when they caught a shark. And
they caught one?
They caught a shark.
Like they were fishing for it?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. So they caught it's not a huge one. It was like a smaller one. Mm-hmm. They caught one of the sharks that had been following them, and they pulled it aboard. And he was so excited because Jose, the other anthropologist, just gets an axe and just starts beating this thing to death. Like just went insane, like just hacking at it. There's a video of it where he's just like,
there is.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, there's a video of all of this. So they filmed most of this.
Nice.
And it's on a documentary that everyone should go watch. But he's like beating this shark to death. And Santiago writes in his diary, he's like, I've finally seen it. I've finally seen the rage. It's in there. I know it's in there. It's just under the surface. It's all just waiting to break out. We're finally here. They're going to start fighting. And instead, they just had a great time eating shark. And Jose did rip out the heart and eat it.
Yeah. So, Jose is a hottie. So far, he sounds like the most bangable on this ship.
100%.
Quiet academic who just keeps his rage inside until it's necessary to save the group, and then rips the heart out of the shark and eats it.
Absolutely.
That's a keeper, ladies.
Hottie.
That's who you marry.
100%. 100%. And he's got you should see him. He's cute. Actually, I can't find a picture of him. It's only on the show, but where is he? Is he?
Hottie Jose.
He has this big, luxurious beard, and he's like sitting there writing the whole time. He's like, yeah, he's hot. So he eats the heart from the shark, and everyone got excited because they all wanted to help rip it apart. So there was a little bit of like, right. They're all like 20. They're like, yeah, let's rip this shark apart. Who cares? And again, they didn't start fighting or banging that he could tell. And so everyone just kept getting along. And he was like so angry that he starts like being violent to people. Like he started splashing people with water, throwing stuff at people, trying to egg them on, making up straight up lies. Yeah. Saying racist stereotypes to the two black people on the boat to try to get them to like fight him. Awful. So like one of them, like to Faye, he was like, you should bang Bernardo because you guys are both black. And she was like, what? I'm married. I didn't come here to bang anyone. And he's like, I'm a priest. Like, But just stuff like that, where that was when Faye was like, I am 100% against you. How?
Yeah.
Like,
Mutiny.
so it's just deeply racist, super inappropriate, starts just lying to people about what people say. And it's like halfway, no, maybe like a 3/4 of the way through. And he decides to mutiny and his own experiment.
He does it.
Yeah. So the captain, because when you're on the ocean, the captain's word is word, and you're in international waters, and that is the law. And and another thing he did was that he chose to leave close to hurricane season because he wanted that to be an area of stress for the team. Yeah. Yes.
Man, people say video games are bad, but like this is the kind of shit that you can get out of your system when you have video games.
Yeah.
Like you get to just play this kind of stuff and play God and do it, and then you're like,
you
okay,
can play
cool,
Sex Raft on the PS5.
Yeah, exactly.
So Maria starts being like, "Hey, dude, we left way too late.
Sorry,
I'm not
is this a great idea for a game, by the way? Is Sex Raft for PS5? I think we should develop this.
I think we should. Christmas release.
Yeah,
we'll do it in 2 months. So Maria starts being like, we are going way too slow. We're not near where I was hoping we were going to go, where we were going to be. And hurricane season is coming up. What were you thinking?
Yeah.
And she starts realizing that this was on purpose.
Yeah.
And that he was leading them straight into the hurricane area of the Atlantic. And so she is like, we're not doing this. As a captain, I can't do this. I'm not going to do this. And so she's like, I'm going to pull us into port. And he's like, no, you're not. I'm the captain now. Literally like I'm the captain.
Literally the guy. Yeah, yeah.
I don't know how it ended up going, but everyone just was like, are you kidding? You can't even handle her being your captain? Like he's the one that's uncomfortable with her being a woman. Because he said something about keeping the women safe from the storm or something, and some messed up, like, weird logic. And she was like, okay, fine, you be the captain. Sure. And I don't know why I don't know what the fight was like, but he ended up being captain. He has no idea what he's doing. And he's leading them into the hurricane. And it was Hurricane Brenda, I think. And he's like, everyone get inside, batten down the hatches or whatever. We're just going to ride this one out. And Faye said that when they were inside, she could see Maria was, like, crying out of rage. And he mentioned how crying is weak and how, like, he hadn't cried since he was a boy. So, you can't have a ship captain that cries. But she was crying out of rage, as I think most women know how that goes. Yeah. And so, luckily, the hurricane switched paths, like, changed course. And it didn't hit them as hard.
The odds keep stacking up against this guy. He's like, everything he tries to do, and they're like, nope.
Yes, exactly. But by this time, everyone was like, I hate this man. He's actually like a literal danger to us. Our lives are in danger. He has put us in like peril. And so Faye and Eisuke found themselves up on the roof one night. And they kind of got talking of like, how do we get him to not do this anymore? And the word murder was said. And Faye recalls later, she's like, I don't like that I went there, but that's how bad it was. That we were like, he's going to kill us. We might have to like push him overboard.
Yeah.
And, or, like they had a bunch of plans. She was like, or we can get all of, the medicine from the medicine place and we can all inject him at the same time. So none of us are to blame. And then we can throw him over in a sheet. Like they had planned. They were up there like plotting, her and a couple other people. And they were just like, wait, what are we doing? We can't kill this man.
Protecting yourselves, yeah.
Yeah, but then they were like, well, no, we're being exactly what he wants us to be, which is violent. So they had this moment of
human spirit.
Like,
this is like the final act of the Dark Knight.
Yeah,
people are just like, I refuse to do this. The Joker gets
really
all
what
upset.
It was.
He keeps trying to make it worse and worse, and he can't do it.
He's the Joker.
He's trying. He's a shitty Joker. That's what he is.
He's
not even good at it.
He's still the captain at this point, and it's still kind of like hurricane-y. And they're like, this might be the only thing we have to do. But then it won out. And it's funny, I watched an interview with Eisuke later and he was like this old, tiny Japanese grandpa, and he's like, I wanted to do it. He's like, I was ready. Pretty much like, yeah, 100%. They're like, do you doubt what you said? And they're both like, no,
No, I doubt not doing it. Kill him. Yeah.
That's where we were at.
Yeah.
We were ready to kill him. And so then after this, Maria is like, the hurricane's hitting, and she's like, no, move. I'm the captain now. And so she takes over again and steers them out of the waters. Nice. And after that, all he does is sulk. And he goes...
Speaking of primate politics, he's been defeated, and then like his testosterone levels are gone because of the bigger gorilla out gorillaed him. Exactly.
And so they're like, we're done with this. Screw this. Everybody sucks. this guy sucks and we're going to have fun. And so they just kind of have like a fun last 3 weeks on the boat. And this guy just sulked the whole time. And then he was like, I'm so sick. I have a fever. And later the doctor was like, I think he was faking it.
Yeah, he was. He's like, I need attention.
No, seriously, like this is narcissist behavior.
Why isn't anyone paying attention to me?
This is my
I have a headache.
And in his diaries, he does realize, he's like, there was a night where I had a panic attack. He had a panic attack and he started crying for the first time since he was a kid. Mm-hmm. And he realized that the only person who had shown violence and aggression on the boat was him.
Oh, and so he has some realization.
There was some realizations where he was like alone. No one wanted to talk to him. He had tried to mutiny his own craft or whatever. Yeah. And he was like, oh, I'm the bad ape.
I'm the problem. Yeah.
I'm the problem. And he just kind of like, the whole way home. And when they dock, everyone was such good friends that they were like, I'd be okay doing this more. Like, I liked this. Like, they had a blast. Like, they kept in touch, some of them. And here's the thing. While they were at sea, the press heard about it. And that's where the name Sex Raft came from, was the press, because they were like, oh, swearing over body and mind. It's just a big orgy on a boat.
Orgy, yeah.
International press just spread like crazy. Like, yeah. Sex Raft, Sex Raft, Sex Raft. And it's just such a great word, like Sex Raft, baby. You know, like,
it's a lot of fun
to say. Sex Raft is a good 2 words. And part of one of the reasons why he had this huge meltdown and just pouted the whole way home is because they got radio from somebody being like, by the way, the whole world thinks you're on an orgy boat. And he was like, oh no. And then his university that he worked for was like, wrote him off and was like, we don't want anything to do with him. And so he was just like, everything was taken away from him. He was in like the metaphorical belly of the whale or whatever.
Yeah.
Of his own creation. And so when they docked, there's reporters, everyone was like, the Sex Raft is back. And everyone on the boat was like, Sex Raft?
We got a bunch of BDSM materials. Everyone's just waiting for them to they're like, do it for the press.
Do it.
We need a live performance.
No, and none of them knew that it was called the Sex Raft. So they were all like, wait, what? This whole 3 months we were gone, everyone was just thinking we were on this boat banging. And they were. Okay. Don't get me wrong. It was a sex raft, but nobody ever let him know that they were doing that.
How do you bang on this tiny raft without anyone knowing?
So Edna said that she was in charge of like steering one night. Mm-hmm. And if you were in the right spot and you kept one hand on the steering, then you could do it. So she was the only one that
with one hand you could do it, meaning like no one could see you or what?
No, you could still steer the boat and have sex at the same time with somebody.
But I'm saying, how did other people not know? Is what I'm saying.
Because that was like up and behind. I think that was like out of sight a little more.
There was an area that was actually out of sight. Yeah. Because it didn't look like there's much room on that thing at all.
There's not. But they managed it. And one person said that sometimes they did it in the water. Like, cause
in
there was
the water?
A diving cage kind of thing off the side of it. And other people said that they like blocked off like 2 women were like, oh yeah, we just like blocked it off. So they
need a sexing area.
Have some privacy. Yeah. But yeah, Mr. Cuck Chair Santiago the whole time was just like, why aren't you banging? And they 100% were. And they were 100% having disagreements, but they were working them out like people.
Yeah, like adults.
At the end of it, they all ended up loving it. They all were like, except for, Maria, the captain, was like, I don't like that everyone's calling this a sex raft, and I'm the first female boat captain in the world or whatever.
Yeah.
And so she kind of distanced herself. But this documentary called The Raft came out in 2018, and I watched it last night.
Oh, nice.
And it was fascinating. They rebuild the boat, and they bring the living... yeah. They rebuild the boat, and they bring the living people back to it that are still alive, and they interview them. And,
how many of them are left?
6.
Okay. So a good portion, the majority of them.
Yeah. And they all talk and kind of hash things out, and some of them share some things.
Do they bang?
No, they don't bang.
Pass. Hard pass. No thanks.
No, thank you. I thought this was called Sex Raft.
Yeah, Sex Raft. Thanks a lot. I wanted to see elderly people getting it on a boat in the middle of nowhere.
I know.
To give us
in
hope.
the middle of a studio.
Yeah, old people bang more than anybody. People don't know this. I know. There's like a lot of STDs amongst the elderly in homes.
But who cares at that point, you know? Anyway, if you're old enough, it's just like, whatever.
Whatever, as long as you're banging.
Yes, but they were all talking about like Faye. She was the African American who was on board, who was like, actually, I was very much of an observer. I was not, a part of all the like sexy flirting, and I was able to see what it was, and that we actually had a really successful experiment because we showed that people from all over the world could get along and have an actual team that works and treats each other like humans. And despite the guy just being racist and whatever, and none of the other people were racist, we were all just like, chill. And she said something really cool. She said that while she was up at night on the boat, she said because after a while, there's this thing, you get like hallucinations almost, like if you're on a boat for too long.
Fata Morgana.
Fata Morgana. Why is that the thing that lasted? She said that she had kind of like this really strange spiritual hallucination or auditory hallucination where she heard her ancestors who had died on the slave ships beneath her. And they were like linking up with her and being like, you're doing this and you're alive. Kind of like this interesting, like, because she realized, she's like, this is the first time, like, I'm descended from these people who were kidnapped and brought over to America.
Yeah.
And now I'm in the same, like, she realized she was in the same zone that they went through.
That's
the
wild.
slave routes went through.
Yeah.
And she had like this profound moment of like, I'm alive and I'm here and I'm, look how far I've come and look how far we've come. And so she had this like, she's like, I wouldn't take this back for the world. Like, this
That's really
was
beautiful, actually.
everything to me. Yeah. And she didn't tell anyone that until this documentary.
Wow.
That she was like, people would, not believe me, but I felt like they were talking to me. And I was like, that is, out of all of the things that happened on that boat, it's like the coolest thing.
That's the most profound, yeah.
Yeah. And so they all got to cry about stuff and how one of them was running away from her murderous husband. And they're like, we didn't know. Why didn't you tell us? And she's like, why would I tell you? We were on the Sex Raft. It was just like this really beautiful moment of like human connection.
Yeah, like a culmination of sorts.
Yeah. And they were like, it was like camp. We had a blast. I'd do it again. Santiago kind of took a hit to his career, but in the end he was fine. He ended up doing things. But yeah, that's the Sex Raft experiment. And I feel like I just spewed all of that out. I hope it's made sense.
It really did. So what happened? So Santiago, sounds like you said he had a sort of realization that he was the problem. Did it say anything about him being like, sorry guys, my bad?
No.
No,
he
just wrote about it in his diary like a big boy.
Yes, like a big grown-up adult. But the guy, Marcus Lindeen, who made the documentary, was given permission by Santiago's son to come and just look through all of his stuff.
Oh, wow.
And
okay.
He said that he saw a side of him that he just got he had this machismo about him, this ego that his whole life he had a really hard time like breaking out of. Like it was kind of controlled him, and it was like his ego versus the scientific method, and it just kept colliding. And that he couldn't get over that, and he wanted things to be a certain way, and they never were. So he got to read all of his diaries. He got to look at all of his pictures, and then he made this documentary based on all the drawings of the boats and all that stuff.
That sounds really cool. I'd like to watch that. Yeah.
And then Marcus Lindeen also says like there was a moment when they were filming that the previous boat participants were like, oh, what? You're like Santiago too, like number 2. And he was like, what?
Oh no, don't call me that.
What do you mean? And then he had like this inward, seriously, he had this like inner like, oh no, did I just do the same exact thing? I built a boat and I brought people onto it, like, and made them feel certain things. Like, what? Am I just like him? And
the film director's job, essentially, that's what they're doing. Yeah. And they're like hiring camera crew and trying to get people to like have specific emotional experiences on camera, so you can cut it together for the story that you've written in your head.
Yep. Well, Marcus was like, uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
They might be right. Anyway, everyone go watch The Raft. It's really good.
Where'd you watch it? Is it on YouTube or something?
I had to buy it, or you can rent it for $4.
Okay,
but
all right.
I bought it because I was like, this is genuinely really good. Anyway.
Speaking of which, if you have a spare $4 that you can spare, you can also subscribe to our Patreon, where we have outtakes, such as something that has yet to be determined. We'll have
that went a little long, so
that's okay. We have an editor, thankfully.
But we have an ender?
An editor.
Oh, I was like, what's an ender?
We have a double ender that's happening while we're on the boat. Triple ender.
I'm having
all three.
I'm having a triple ender right now. But yeah, I don't ever want to get on a boat with anybody. That's what I learned from this.
I would get on a boat with you. It'd be fun. I have been on a boat with you. What are we talking about?
Oh,
you and I have been on a boat together multiple times. Yeah.
Okay, here's the thing. Getting on boats with friends is so fun. I would never participate in an experiment. That's a question. Would you have gotten on the boat, the Sex Raft?
Absolutely not. 100% not. No,
Okay.
no.
there would be a part of me that was like, maybe.
I would listen. I would get on. I'm not like I don't get seasick really or anything like that. Like it's not about that, but it's about you. We've been on a boat together. You like were going to throw up the whole time, and I'm like belly full of Taco Bell, like dancing around, being like, "Look, this is awesome." Think of it. We've been on multiple boats together. Yeah, I was like, just thinking, like the last one we went to in New York.
You know, it is kind of like a bonding experience to be on a boat with friends.
Yeah, it's awesome. The wind's in your face. It's like the ocean. There's nothing like it. No, I just wouldn't. I'd be on a boat for fun, but not for like some weird experiment for some perv, like cuck raft, like shitting in a cage thing with like sharks. I don't know. That sounds like too much.
Yeah, it does. But the friendship along the way. Anyway, speaking of something.
Speaking of friendship along the way, what's my tab?
What's your tab?
Okay, thank you very much for that tab. So my tab today is a holdover from Halloween.
Ooh.
Because nice. I was trying to decide between this and the poison Halloween candy myths, which is ultimately I went with the latter because I thought it would be more pressing because of trick-or-treating and whatnot. And because, look at me. I'm choosing tabs based on what's best for the interest of the people. Unlike Santiago, I'm doing a public service.
Oh, I was going to say, you don't like my Sex Raft tab?
Yeah.
I took it personally. I'm sorry. I would have been bad on the boat. Let's just
I prioritized the Halloween candy one because I wanted that one to come out before trick-or-treating happened. Yeah. And this one was not as not as like pressing. But
so this
now
is
that
like Halloween
themed.
2?
Now that's over, but it doesn't mean that I got to stop talking about like weirdo spooky shit. So once again, we're going to travel back in time to the early 90s.
Ooh.
You're in elementary. Yeah, right. So I'm going to set the scene, right? So you're in elementary school. You go grocery shopping with your mom. And as she goes to grab all the essentials you'll need to stay alive for the coming days, like shark bites and ecto cooler, you instead run off and find the magazine section to read comic books.
Yes, I did.
Right?
Did you have the same life as me?
It's very similar that it's very possible that we had a similar life. Also, as I was writing that, I was like, oh shit, you know what? I guess that's not a thing anymore. I forgot that they don't sell comics at grocery stores, but I bought.
No.
It's crazy, like, because I bought X-Men number 41, where Legion goes back in time and kills Professor X from a Stop and Shop.
Okay.
Which is totally insane to think about it now.
I forgot the whole magazine. They don't have magazine sections anymore, do they?
I think they're just all at the checkout area now. Like there's a few of them, but not really even that much.
You could buy all sorts of stuff over there.
Yeah. Oh no, print is totally just dead now. Like print has absolutely had like a nosedive like ever since the internet came along. Like basically all those companies are dead, which is really sad because I used to really love going to the grocery store and just reading stuff like in the magazine section while shopping was happening. Although obviously, which should come as no surprise to the listeners of this podcast, that like we had a propensity for just reading a bunch of shit anyway.
Yeah.
But anyway, so
I never stopped reading. It's funny. Like I was listening to an interview with Faye. She was like, I had an insatiable thirst for knowledge and learning, and I was like, me too. All I want to do is learn.
Yeah.
Constantly. Okay.
I'm learning.
Go on.
So
I'm learning. Super Nintendo Chalmers.
So you go to grab like your favorite title from the rack next to you, and then you see a weird set of gigantic eyes printed on the cover of a black and white paper. And it looks scary and insane, but like there's comics to be read, people. We don't have time for this. So
there's 6-year-old girls who've been murdered to look at, because
that's
for
true.
Me it was John
Benet Ramsey,
and
yeah,
I
of
was
course.
The same age as her ish, and I remember just being like, am I gonna die?
You were just always a true crime lady, weren't you? You just loved it from the beginning.
No, I didn't love it. I was scared of dying so deeply that it affected me on every level of my life.
So with comic in hand, you run towards the registers, looking down aisle after aisle until you spot your mom. Remember doing that? Just like running across and just looking down aisle.
Because it was a playground, the grocery store.
It was a lot of fun.
Yep. It was. And sometimes you'd catch her when she's behind.
Yeah. And you're like, wait, I passed that aisle. I didn't see her go all the way. And then you gotta come back. Yeah, exactly. It's always like a panic. But eventually you find your mom. And you just like, you plead with her to buy the comic, and eventually she relents, and and then you're like helping her load everything onto the conveyor belt one by one, like whatever, apples and fruit and this stuff. And once again, you're faced with the terrifying gigantic eyes. And there, nestled between the bubble yum and the big league chew, you see the image in its entirety. And it seems like you already know what it is.
I do.
It's the cover of the Weekly World News, and the cover story reads, Bat Child found in cave.
Bat Boy. Woo! Bat Boy. Dude, that's seared into my mind. That picture or that
It
whatever
is.
it is.
Yeah.
That child found in cave. That's right. So as a kid, you're like, here's what happens to kids in the world. They turn into bat children and are living in caves, or they're murdered. So that's how I'm looking at there's a little blonde girl with makeup on who was murdered, and this child with a gaping mouth. Oh, look at that. That's right.
Plastered everywhere.
His giant eyes see in the dark, and his ears are better than radar, says scientists. Say scientists. I love Bat Boy. Oh, man, you get the nostalgia in here. This is great.
Yeah. So
what in the world?
Today, I'm going to be talking about the legend of Bat Boy.
Okay,
get ready. So the Weekly World News was launched in 1979 as a way to continue using the black and white press that their sister tabloid, the National Enquirer, had been printed on before it switched to color printing.
Whoa, okay.
Which is the whole reason it started, because it was basically the National Enquirer's sloppy seconds. And since the Enquirer was focused more on celebrity gossip and rumors in glorious four-color printing, the Weekly World News had to differentiate itself by going more into the weirdo crap that they would find from other newspapers and magazines. They would collect huge stacks of recent issues and hire people that they called clippers to sift through them and cut out all the wackiest ones.
Dream
job. Amazing. Oh, dude, this whole tab, you're going to be like,
dream job.
Yeah.
This is what I would do.
Start to finish. It's all like, we should have been there.
I have a whole thing of newspaper clippings in my closet from the 1970s.
I mean, it's essentially, that's like the analog version of tabs. If you think about it, it's like, here's some clippings of shit I'm going to go back and read. That's what this was.
That's all I did.
Yeah. It's been with us this whole time. Then they would take these clippings. Are you having a moment right now? Yeah, you seem like you're like,
a moment. Whoa. Go on.
They would take the clippings and they would rewrite them or expand on some minor insane detail. And although it was doing okay, it wasn't doing like fantastic. It wasn't like the greatest. It was selling enough where it was like fine and they didn't have to close it right away. But the owner, his name is Generoso Pope Jr., was like, we got to sell more papers and we got to find crazier stories.
Nothing's
so little
changed,
by
dude.
little,
this is
yeah,
YouTube.
honestly,
this is
everything. Just wait till the end. You'll be like, oh no. So little by little. So originally it was taking stories that existed and they rewrote it and so it was like a kind of collection of the craziest shit that they can find. But they were like, it needs to be crazier so we can sell more. So little by little, it stopped being about like the truth, and it started to slide into like a little bit more of the wacky and over the top insane. And this is how you ended up with headlines like, here's one of my favorites that I'm going to send you. You can read it to the kids at home.
I remember Bigfoot kept lumberjack as love slave. Outraged wife. He's no longer the man I married. And it's this guy looking lovingly at Bigfoot, the big hairy monkey. Do you think?
Yeah. I was going to say, imagine those two on the sex raft.
I was about to say, did he sign a contract to be his love slave, or did he just get on the raft?
Yep. There's also this one, which I love.
Hillary Clinton adopts alien baby. And it says, official photo, Secret Service building special nursery in the White House. Space creature survived UFO crash in Arkansas. It's incredible.
And then there's... go ahead. What were you going to say?
No, I was going to say, I remember these kind of things were what got the conversation going in my house about what to believe and what not to believe.
Oh, really? It was like a teaching moment.
Yes.
That's
it was a teaching moment. I remember being like, what's that about? And I don't remember which one it was, but it was scary. And I was like, is that a thing that happens? And my mom was like, none of these are real. None of these are real. And I remember in my head being like, why are they here then? Like, if none of them are real, why are they making them?
Because it's not our job to be the editor, Hannah. This is not Times Square. This is a public square where we're just sharing all kinds of ideas where people can...
And it's all equal, all the ideas.
We believe in freedom of speech.
Whether that speech is nonsense or not.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember it being a very clear teaching moment on the way home of my mom being like, well, they want to make money. And some people do believe those things.
Yeah.
And that's a way to make money.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay.
Okay, sure.
Anyway.
There's this one, which it feels so relevant right now. honestly. I'm not even joking. This feels like a headline, like just if you updated the references, it's 100% a headline that you would see now.
It's sorry. Is Ric Flair running the White House? And then underneath it has Ric Flair, and then in the background a bunch of like American troops. It says pro wrestler talked Bush into sending troops to Saudi Arabia. It's like, yeah, fill in it's a Mad Lib.
That's like a real headline now, right? Just replace your wrestler with a more contemporary, like The Rock. Probably not The Rock.
The Rock,
but somebody.
yeah. No, Kid Rock.
Kid Rock
talks
right.
Bush with Trump into sending troops to
not a
Israel
joke,
or
honestly.
something.
Literally what it is.
And I would read it and be like, that makes sense.
Yeah,
that tracks.
So, at that time, it's like kind of half Onion headlines, some like 24-hour news, cable news kind of questions with a strong through line of cryptid, alien, and the other thing I forgot about was Elvis Lives. Like, do you remember? Like that was a whole thing at that time.
I remember that one. Yeah,
that was like their first big breakout because that had kind of been a little bit of a thing in the early '80s, but then that was the first big hit that they had. Was like they kept coming up with stories, and they made Elvis kind of into like a cryptid of sorts because it was like you know,
like
I mean,
he would
like,
appear different places. He was spotted in Nashville or something. Or spotted in these places.
That's the thing. I was like, I'm going to keep a tab open for that because I'm like, I kind of want to do a deeper dive into the whole like Elvis Lives phenomenon because I think it's kind of strange in retrospect. But But another interesting fact about the Weekly World News is because they were doing all kinds of stuff of like, you know, like look at all these images. Like they're basically like at first they were airbrushing them, but they were like, we need something that's like a little bit more accurate. So they were actually really early adopters of Adobe Photoshop.
What? Are you serious? That makes sense.
Yeah, because they had to, because it was like, I need to do something crazier and faster. And like, it takes so much time to do the airbrush stuff. So they're like, we got to get on the tech to be able to like turn this around quicker. So like, there's some of the earliest, like really good professional Photoshop artists worked at the Weekly World News.
Again, dream job.
Yeah, honestly.
Someone was like, put this alien baby in Hillary Clinton's arms. I'd be like,
unreal.
I would do that for free. I would do that for free today. Like, unprompted even.
Their unofficial mantra was, quote, never talk yourself out of a good story.
Oh. That's so scary now.
Now it's scary, but at that time it was
so
like
chilling.
Fun. Yeah. But like I said, everything I read about it made me super jealous because it made it seem like it's like a cousin to Mad Magazine more than anything else. Like just riffing on nonsense, like laughing all day long. All in all, sounds like an amazing place to have worked. And by 1988, they had more than 1 million subscribers. So this was not the time to slow down and start reporting like real facts. They had to get crazier. You got to double down on bullshit.
Amp it up.
Exactly. And a couple years later, someone pitched the idea of an alien baby to Dick Kolpa, who's one of the multi-hyphenates on the staff, to create an image. And Dick, unsurprisingly, was a cartoonist.
Yes.
Yep.
Degenerates, all of us.
Yeah, and he worked all these different jobs before he came to the WWN. And this is a quote from him. He said, I'd drawn a Star Trek comic strip years before, so I love the pointy ears on Spock. And I also did another comic strip featuring a character, Officer Jaws, and I loved his teeth. I had total leeway. I don't think staff knew what I was doing at the time. In this particular case, it took me almost a whole day because the computer kept crashing. That was 1992. The 5th time it crashed, I vowed to end the project if it crashed again. Fortunately, it didn't. And so he made the image of a Bat Boy originally meant to be an alien kid.
Oh, and then they changed it to Bat Boy.
Yeah.
Bat
and so
child.
For those of you guys who are listening, you haven't seen, it's just imagine like Tammy Faye as like a hairless 6-month-old with like Vulcan ears. Like that's basically all it is.
100%. I keep forgetting that people who are like Gen Z listen to this podcast. And I'm like, everyone knows what Bat Boy looks like.
Yeah.
Our Bat Child.
Plastered into our brains. But so.
Never leaving.
He does this, and then managing editor Sal Ivani had been growing bored of doing alien stories. So he takes a look at it. And he says, maybe he's not a space alien. Maybe he's half human, half bat. And the next thing you know, everyone is like yes-anding each other. And then the legend of Bat Boy was begun and born. Bat Boy begins.
Bat Boy begins from a cartoonist and with Photoshop. Yep. Okay, here's the thing.
Yeah.
I can easily see myself riffing to the point of creating a legend.
100%.
And then never, like, I can see us doing it. We do that.
You and I would have absolutely worked at this place. 100% we would have worked there.
So
without
fun.
question. It would have been the most fun.
Fun. Why am I feeling like a loss? I want this. I want to work there. What? I'm like nostalgic for a place I never went to. Never was. Like, wow, I wish I could have worked there.
So Bat Boy was, quote, okay, so this is the lore. Bat Boy was discovered in the caves of West Virginia by a scientist named Ron Dillon. He was the size of a baby, but had the strength of a chimp. Dillon wanted to study Bat Boy, so he tranked him and brought him to a research facility.
Okay.
So here's the original spread of Bat Boy. I think it probably came in a different order, but it's like the left side is the Bat Boy found, and then the right side is a little blurb. And it's got a little picture of Dr. Ron Dillon on the inlay.
Oh, yeah. Do you want me to read this?
I mean, it's very long.
There may be thousands more just like him. Oh, yeah.
But it's funny because they take an idea that's insane and they write it like a real news article.
Yeah. Now, did they, I know that, I just always think of like, I Married an Axe Murderer. Have you seen that movie?
Oh, not in years. I have seen it, but I don't remember it very well.
There's a whole part about Bat Boy in it, about his mom.
Is it really?
Or I think some Weekly World News, and she had all the Weekly World News out, and she would read them every day and believe all of them. So were they doing this like not expecting people to believe it? It was like a joke?
Yeah. I will get into some of that too.
Whoa.
It's funny that you bring that up. Because that gets even funnier. So Bat Boy makes his debut on June 23rd, 1992. And right at the gate, he's a huge success, and it sells almost 1 million copies. And eventually he became like the de facto mascot for the Weekly World News. Yeah. Just immediately. And former editor Neil McGuinness said, quote, Bat Boy is unique in that he's not a heroic figure. He's more of an anti-hero. You can draw parallels to Don Quixote in that you have a protagonist who isn't a hero, but fallible and subject to lapses in judgment. Like the time he stole a Mini Cooper and led police on a chase. Which is the next headline.
Okay. Bat Boy leads cops on 3-state chase. Actual photos. Hot pursuit of half bat, half human. Mutant steals Mini Cooper car for joyride.
So yeah, they basically like, what's funny is he's like, so he has all these insane adventures because...
Wait, sorry. I just barely saw him in the Mini Cooper driving it. It's the exact same face, but just like made smaller and put inside the car. Oh, that's genius. That's beautiful. Anyway, go on.
So to the point that you were asking about people getting worried, right? So he's got all these insane adventures, which included at one point being captured by the FBI. And this led
I remember that one.
To real people, actually calling the FBI and demanding Bat Boy's release. Mm-hmm. American citizens were like, not spam calling, but these people actually thought it was real and they were really upset. And eventually this got so bad that the feds called the Weekly World News and we're like, you need to issue a retraction. This is to end now. You have to retract this because we're getting too many calls and it's wasting our resources and time. So then the first thing they did was they wrote a story that Bat Boy escaped the FBI and continued on his adventures. Goodness. Yeah,
that's good. They're like, we're not going to take this back, but we will make the story in favor of you. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's really
Nowadays,
funny. So they're
be like, absolutely not. We're going to ruin the FBI.
Exactly. From my cold, dead hands, the FBI, the Weekly World News gets raided by the FBI and they come in and they're like, this guy was on Epstein Island.
They become like a symbol for anarchy.
It's crazy. The world's terrible.
This guy was on Epstein Island? Who?
Yeah, I'm saying that's what the FBI
so many of the people we've talked about of being on Epstein Island in the last few months. What did you say? You said that Jeff the Mongoose was on Epstein Island.
He was on Epstein Island.
And then a whole other thing we had to cut now that I think about it. So go on.
Anyway, so don't worry though. This is not the last of Bat Boy's connections to the government. But first, you know what he needed to do? He needed to be the star of his own musical.
No. Are you kidding?
Sadly not.
Is this a little bit of musical splaining?
I was going to say, this is not musical splaining, but I'm not going to sit down and watch this shit, but for old time's sake. Bat Boy the Musical is an American horror rock musical with a book by Keith Farley and Brian Fleming and music and lyrics by Lawrence O'Keefe that premiered at Actors Gang Theater in 1997. Oh. It was seemingly a minor hit, and there were even rumors about a Broadway adaptation. But, unfortunately, for Broadway, 9/11 happened.
No, no, another thing it took from us.
Another thing.
Bat Boy.
I know what you're thinking. No, Bat Boy did not do 9/11, but suddenly the idea of a man bat going around getting into trouble and biting people was no longer in line with the zeitgeist.
Yeah, people didn't like that kind of nonsense after everyone became insane.
Yeah, this was now Bush's America. And it's kind of crazy to think about it like alternative like histories and timelines. Like you could have had maybe like Lin-Manuel Miranda making his Broadway debut, rapping about Bat Boy and being an even bigger hit than Hamilton. Could have been. Thanks,
Bat
Osama
Boy,
bin
the
Laden.
musical,
You took that away from us.
I know all those songs. I like the part where Alexander Hamilton catches Bat Boy.
Bat Boy is actually one of the founding fathers.
Yeah,
and it's just him screaming. Someone's like, he's like,
he also
like hypersonic scream.
Controversially, he also was a slave owner. So I took that down.
Take.
I took that down.
Yeah,
sad.
It's true.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's true. We gotta tell history the way that
they
it
all
was,
were.
not just glorify it. Yeah, it's true. Bat Boy.
Bat Boy was on Epstein Island, and he was a slave owner and a declaration signer, and he fought in the Revolutionary War. Anyway, go on.
But sadly, that reality would never come to pass. But Bat Boy's work as a character wasn't done. It was time for Bat Boy to be reimagined and reflect the times.
Oh, no.
Sadly, Bat Boy got wrapped up in the post 9/11 fervor, storming the offices of the U.S. Army, where he demanded to join the efforts of the war on terror. This is true.
No, he did.
So... on the previous one that said Bat Boy leads cops on 3-state chase, at the bottom you're seeing, what was the title that you saw, the headline that's on the bottom?
It says, Saddam challenges Bush to a duel. And they're holding swords. And it says, why go to war when we can settle this like gentlemen? So
that's the first little tease of what's to come.
Oh, no.
And... quickly, Bat Boy was turned into a stooge for Cheney's invasion of Iraq and sent by Bush and Tony Blair to take down Saddam.
You have got to be kidding. You got to be kidding right now.
Are you ready?
I don't think I am. I don't know if I am. Okay. It says Bat Boy fights in Iraq. And he's like biting. He's biting Saddam's shoulder, and Saddam's eyes are like popping out of his head. And it says
it's like
Tony Blair and President Bush.
Eyeball,
yeah, it's like an awooga face. Sorry, I'm so focused. I can't even think straight. Tony Blair and President Bush order Mutant to, quote, find Saddam Hussein. And then, sorry, just, okay. Bat Boy, just look at him. He's biting Saddam. It's incredible.
Oh, are you ready for this one?
Again, I don't know.
This is the worst one of all of them.
Give me a second. Bat Boy led our troops to Saddam's hole. So, amazing title. Bush plans to award pint-sized hero a Bronze Star. Plus Osama's crazy plan to surrender. Look at him. He's partying. He got into that hole. Toll troll to get into this.
You gotta pay the bat toll to get to Saddam's hole. To get to Saddam's hole.
It's my favorite episode of Always Sunny. It's funny when I read that. That's the first thing I thought of.
So yes, sadly, you heard it here first. Bat Boy is a certified war criminal.
Bootlicker, war criminal. Wow.
A sad ending to a once promising career.
He had so much potential.
He did.
He threw his life away. He threw all of it away.
And it's listen, kind of what you were talking about. Like a lot of people who are younger don't realize how crazy it got after 9/11 in terms of like the absolute like demanding that there's some sort of like, bending the knee to everything that the government does.
People were out for blood.
Even Bat Boy had to get on board.
The cryptids in the zeitgeist were like, no, I also want to kill.
Saddam Hussein.
I bet he used words like collateral damage too.
Yeah, right. Operation Iraqi Freedom. So, like I said, sad ending to a once promising career. And speaking of endings, the Weekly World News print edition also came to an end around 2007.
Oh, that makes sense. That's
what you get for supporting war criminals, bro. You can't.
Honestly, It could have been so much funnier if he didn't support war criminals. Imagine
Exactly.
that.
If he was like the voice of resistance.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He could have swung the election.
Should you do a whole Bat Boy series? Screw Mothman.
They are both from West Virginia, which I think is really funny.
That is funny. I like how everyone's like, we're just going to dunk on West Virginia. that's what it is at the
Bad
end
Boys
of the day.
from West Virginia. Maybe it's time. So the Weekly World News is still around. It's just no longer, there's no print edition anymore.
It is?
So you don't see. Yeah. That's not saying the print edition's gone, but the website's
is it
still up.
still on? It's still up.
On the internet.
What?
Yeah. Bat Boy the musical, however, has since been produced off-Broadway in London's West End and at the Edinburgh Festival and in scores of productions throughout the world. It continues to be a fan favorite that I'm sure Bat Boy loves as much as anyone else because it whitewashes his genocidal tendencies of the past.
Oh, okay.
Coming out here against Bat Boy right now.
Anymore.
Yep. Not into it.
Well, war criminal Bat Boy. But hey, war criminals, all of them used to be kids that lived in caves at one point.
Would you go back in time to kill Bat Boy as a boy before he led the invasion of Iraq and killed millions of people?
Yes.
Okay, good. Correct answer.
Yes, I would.
Yeah. Could have saved us all
Jean
from
Benet, and I'd kill Bat Boy. And then my whole life would be different.
So, kind of to your point of what we were talking about earlier, I think it's funny to consider the legacy of the Weekly World News today, because at its peak, it was an extremely obvious satire. But with the invention of the internet and social media, it seems to have unintentionally become like the template for all kinds of horrific disinformation campaigns and conspiracies. And it really sucks because it's clear from reading about the people that worked on it, it was just a place to come up with like insane story ideas and run with it like a real newspaper. Like it was clearly because there's a couple different oral histories that you read and they're all just having fun. They're all just being insane. They're like, you
can tell that people laughed till they cried over some of these while they were making them.
Somebody that actually says that they were like, I would go home and like my cheeks would be hurting from laughing so hard all day. Because all we were doing is just coming with the dumbest shit that we could think of. And we're like, I can't believe we can get away with it.
Era.
Yeah. But of course, the rich and the powerful can't let us have nice things. And they have to dig their greedy tentacles into anything they can if it means they have more control and more profit. So these days, the Weekly World News seems positively sane compared to the shit being spouted by the actual president of the United States.
Well, satire's dead.
Yeah.
It's gone.
Don't do satire anymore. They ruined it. But to bring it back to us, I definitely felt seen as I was reading the oral histories, because the idea that there are a bunch of cartoonists grabbing news that they've read and rewriting them into more insane stories with random characters that thread in and out of the history of the publication is almost the exact same thing as what we do here on the show.
You're right. I was thinking of it as like in my career. It's just like, I love making up garbage. It's so fun. And you and I, even like if you guys don't, you've seen us in like some people listening have watched our live streams. We're not just putting that on. That's what we do. You and I.
We really are that dumb.
We really are that dumb, and we play into each other's stupid, ideas. It's great. Should we start a newspaper?
I honestly think it would be a lot of fun to do it. I'm like, you and I could probably knock out the biggest pile of bullshit stories like once a week. But
could you imagine?
Yes, I could. I did imagine while I was writing
me too. It's terrifying.
But I did keep thinking about like what our parallel would be, and the only thing I kept thinking of is like Nixon, dead or alive? Like Nixon spotted at hot dog stand. Like,
you're right. It would all be Nixon based. Okay, we're gonna do the Weekly World News, but the N stands for Nixon. Weekly World
Weekly Nixon News.
Weekly Nixon News. Yeah, and then it's only going to be Nixon being found in a cave.
Yeah, that's true.
Nixon
spotted on Sex Raft.
Why are we still in Vietnam? Nixon's on the Sex Raft because that wasn't during Nixon.
Get banging, everybody. Can't you see it? Nixon in a banana hammock.
Again, you made me dry heave. No, Weekly Nixon News, and he's going to age backwards like Benjamin Button to be a bat boy in a cave.
Yeah.
And then we're going to race him. You and I.
We're going to Nixon's our unofficial child, yeah.
He's our kid, Bat Boy.
Teach him about the world.
We
teach him,
We're gonna make him a better president than anyone's ever been, because he will be president again.
Oh my God! What if we did a Photoshop of Bat Boy but with Nixon features? He kind of has the jowls going a little bit.
Yeah. How about everybody go? Should we do a Photoshop contest like the old days?
Oh,
on the Discord.
I would love that. Let's do that.
Okay, everybody,
go ahead.
A Weekly World News article.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So I had this plea that I wanted to make formally to the tens of listeners. Because I don't remember if again, I'm sorry if I have mentioned this before. I cannot remember if we just mentioned it in the Discord or if I mentioned it on the show at any point. But our friend Joe did go and make like a fan wiki about the show like a while ago. And we posted about it like maybe once or twice. But like, I always really want to know. I know that there's those of us who are like, all we do is just continue to build and create things like insane people. And then there's those who are like really good at like organizing and like going through and like finding through lines of stuff and like sort of being the archivists of stuff. But I really would be curious if anyone who's interested, who listens to this show, who likes doing that kind of stuff. We would really love it if you were able to kind of contribute to that fan wiki and kind of build on it. Because the thing that was also really interesting when I was reading this is that because so many of the people that worked at the Weekly World News were cartoonists, they said that like we knew how to thread stuff in and out. You couldn't do like 10 issues of Batboy in a row. You had to be like, here's Batboy for this week. And then like he goes away and there's this other stuff. And then like a couple like weeks later, there would be like another Batboy. So it's like they knew how to thread it the way that you would like a comic book series, which is literally what we're not intentionally. It's just sort of like intuitively is what we're doing.
How our brains work.
And I feel like there's probably a lot of threads.
Brains work.
Yeah, exactly. I think that there's way more threads in here that we just do not remember because we haven't been able to visualize it. So this is my plea. My plea to everybody who's interested. We'll start recording. We'll start including the show notes of the link to the wiki. But I really want to see what it looks like.
Different characters and or even like the other day I was like, I wonder if we have like a list of what sound effect we've closed out on each time, because I was like, how many of them have been guns, because I think a lot of them have been guns. How many of them, stuff like that, where I was like, that'd be cool if we had a list of that, but that you don't have to do that. But that was just one of those things where it's like, I don't even remember half.
No,
of
I
what
don't
goes
either,
on in this show.
because we're just remember half the time. But I
remember
feel
that
like there
guy
would be
who came up to our table at New York Comic Con and just said Sam Worrell, and we both looked at him like, we were like, what are you saying?
I was like, I haven't thought about that in a long time. Yeah, because he had just started listening to it.
Yeah, and I was like,
what
are
you
you
talking
about?
Sam Worrell? That was really fun.
That's right.
I kept screaming that.
It's an inside joke. So stuff like that, make a little entry.
I bet you. But anyway, it's just to make you feel better at the end of it is like we kind of have our own version of the Weekly World News. I honestly believe that. I know that I'm not trying to say that like we're as good as the Weekly World News. We have cultural significance, but I feel like that is absolutely what we're doing here. It's the same thing.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that because we are kind of reporting stories in our dumb nonsense way.
Yeah, exactly. And then we're expanding on them. And it's like there's all this lore that gets built into it. And it's like it's kind of real, but not. But then there's also total nonsense. And it's all threaded. And like people are like, oh, I kind of know what they're talking. Like people who listen, I feel like generally are smart enough to be able to sift what's correct versus what's being told for the sake of like the story.
Hopefully. You're correct. People, I think everybody is in on it. And luckily, there's enough people that are in on it to know when we're being dumb and when we're not. Because I do like to stay pretty accurate to things if I can.
Yeah. We do. It's weird. It's weirdly like very, we try to be as researched as possible, as much as being as insane and totally like bullshit making up like stories as possible.
Yeah.
It's a balance. Anyway, enough about us.
I like that. That's really like heartwarming.
I enjoyed that. Yeah.
I like the whatever this is. Yeah. It's a podcast.
It's a podcast. Anyway, so that is my tab, which brings us to the part of the show where we're going to close them. What should we do? Should it be a Batboy scream, like getting shot, like over
getting another gun?
Iraq? I don't know. Batboy being shot down because he's a war criminal
over Iraq. Okay,
because he shouldn't have been there in the first place.
He shouldn't have been there.
No, he had no business being there. He's a civilian.
Was he even part of the army, or did he just go over there on his own accord?
No, he went to. There's a story where he goes to the army and he's like, "I need you to deputize me to make me part of the fight for the war on terror or whatever." Yeah.
Wow.
Problematic, Batboy.
Yeah, we're gonna do him flying over Iraq, and he will be getting shot down. Okay. Yes. So, Alyssa, good luck.
Do your magic.
Okay.
You ready?
Yes.
Okay. Count us down.
3, 2, 1. I'm closing so many. Oh, so many.
All right, moving on to listener emails. Hannah, you're going to be up first.
This is from Charlie. Hey, 500 Open Tabs. With Kaveh's Dodgers in the World Series, and you guys having asked, you guys having asked for more fan emails, I figured I would suggest another baseball tab. This guy is very well known in professional sports, but I would assume the 500 Open Tabs audience is not familiar with him. And it is Bill VEECK, and they call him the P.T. Barnum of baseball.
All right.
This article mentions only a few of the things he did in professional sports. He also is credited with being the first person to put the last names of players on the back of jerseys.
Oh.
Yeah, cool, huh? Which makes sense. Why wouldn't you? He supported players getting the right to free agency and not just being the property of the teams.
All right.
That first signed them. Yeah. And being given whatever peanuts the team owner wanted, even though it would eventually price him out of the game. Nice.
You know what he wouldn't have allowed? He wouldn't have allowed those people to get on the Sex Raft. He would have been like, absolutely not. This contract is horse shit.
It's like, you're literally signing your life away.
Yeah. Don't do it.
Mm-mm. My favorite non-sports related fact about him is how he had ashtrays built into his prosthetic leg he got for his World War II wound to accommodate his smoking habit.
Incredible.
Some of his kids went into minor league baseball where they organized promotions like Nobody Night, where nobody was allowed to attend, and Vasectomy Night, where in order to raise awareness of men's health, they offered free admission to anyone who'd had a vasectomy.
Oh.
You could probably enjoy going down a rabbit hole researching him and his family. Thanks again for the awesome podcast, Charlie.
Thanks, Charlie.
I like that.
That is really cool. Speaking of Dodgers, dear Lord, at the time of this recording, I don't know if they're going to win, but there was that game on Tuesday night. Jesus Christ, they went to 18 innings. I was texting you and Alyssa about it. I was like, what is going on?
No, it was like 11:30 p.m. and you're like, they're still going. And I'm like, you're awake? That's just not like you.
Which never happens, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I was like...
Did you stay awake until it was over?
I slept for like 15 minutes in the middle of it, and then I woke up, and then I saw Freddie Freeman hit, and then like he ended, and he won the game. But it was like wild. It was wild. It was really fun. It's actually really fun to watch a game. You would think it would be boring to watch something for like 18 innings, but then it ends up being like... Because essentially what that means, that's an entirely second game. That's another 9 innings that's played. It's 2 games in one. But at that point, everyone's so tired and they're so out of it that they keep hitting fouls. They keep screwing up. It's kind of fun to watch. Not because you want to like see them fail, but it becomes relatable. You're like, oh, this is like these are just regular people, right?
They're no longer on the top of their game because it's way past. Yeah.
Like Kershaw comes out and everyone's like, what the hell is this guy doing? I thought he was gone. It's just everyone's like everyone's just tired, making all these mistakes, and they're doing like bunts. Like no one knows what to do, and it's just tense. You're like, and all it takes is one run, right, to end it, which is what's crazy. So it was really fun to watch that
18 innings.
Unreal.
Oh, and everybody, I want a super cut of everyone in the stands just looking.
Oh, those were the best. That was the best. The cutaways were the most fun because everybody in LA was just like stressed out. People are like, I gotta go to work tomorrow. I don't have time for this shit.
Why am I here? I have to drive home after this. The traffic.
So yeah.
I'm sorry, amazing. I would have left. I don't love anything as much as that. Don't love anything enough to stay there for that long.
Yeah, I understand. But it was a good time. Anyway, thank you, Charlie, for that one. We're going to move on to the second email. It's from Matt from Ohio. And Matt says, hello, Hannah, Kaveh, and Alyssa. During episode 88, Kaveh talks about the story of Sybil Ludington, and the words fires in Connecticut pulled up a mental tab in my head like a sleeper agent being activated. I realized I have a very loose connection to the story, having grown up in the Firelands. Firelands?
Firelands, I don't know.
Up through the American Revolutionary War, Connecticut and other states had a Western Reserve, essentially an area of land west of the original 13 colonies that they called dibs on. Connecticut's Western Reserve included parts of what is present-day North Central and Northeast Ohio. After the war, those who had suffered from the raids and fires set by the British Army sought restitution from the government. And for reimbursement for their suffering, the Connecticut state government granted them land rights to a portion of its Western Reserve because it's not like there were indigenous people living there already or anything.
It's just open for grabs, up for grabs.
Yeah, nobody. This 500,000-acre portion of the Western Reserve, originally called the Fire Sufferers Land, eventually came to be known as the Firelands, which is now present-day Erie and Huron counties in Ohio. While it is not clear how many, if any, of the original people who were granted land actually moved to settle the Firelands, the region has many municipalities and townships named after counterparts in Connecticut, such as Norwalk, Danbury, and New London.
Huh.
To this day, the area is still referred to as the Firelands, and many small businesses and organizations in the area use the term Firelands in their names, similar to Gotham as a nickname for New York City, as mentioned by Hannah in episode 90. You'll see Western Reserve used a lot in Northeast Ohio as well. Thanks for keeping me entertained during my commute and filling my head with random bits of knowledge, and since I can't keep track of which pool party or tribute toilet we're at right now, I'll just use your sign up from episode 89. Quote, don't give up, keep creating, Matthew.
Oh.
I love
for
that Matthew went and
Matthew.
referenced every single different,
Yeah.
put the notes of like what episode we're talking about. Cause I'm like, I don't remember saying any of this shit. I don't
What
remember when I
number
did that.
was it? Thank you
89
for
was
sourcing,
don't give up on creating. Yeah.
sources.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was in the Discord. Everyone was saying that was one of their favorite things you've
Really?
said. Yeah, because it was.
Did I
right
say that? Did you say that? I don't remember this.
You said that because
I don't
we were
remember
talking
anything.
about how. Oh, you don't even remember when you're inspiring.
I don't.
No, you're quotable. You can be very quotable when it comes to.
What was it? What did I say? What was it in reference to?
We were talking about like.
What was episode 89?
Okay, hold on. This is worth it. Let me get my phone. Just a sec. Just a minute.
Absolutely don't remember what we talked about.
I think we should go to the doctor.
Yeah, I think maybe this is a problem.
It's not normal.
No, there's listen, do you know how much info? This is like 100 hours of stuff that we've talked about that I'm like, I'm not keeping any of this in my brain. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So Man's in our baseball project. And
right. That one was fun.
Yeah. The Midnight Cave experiment. Oh, right. That one was fun. Now I remember the fun one.
The fun tab. I was like, that guy was awesome. I forgot his name.
Yeah.
Joe.
So I think we had talked about how like creativity is being hijacked or whatever from us with AI, and that's all I remember.
Oh my god, that sounds. I can't believe I said that. That sounds like something a smart person would have said.
Yeah, right.
What was it? Don't give up, keep creating. Is that what I said?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, and then everyone on the Discord was like, "That was awesome," and then
I also don't remember that. I don't think I read that on the Discord. I somehow got distracted.
They also used to quote the thing you said about creativity being like a garden hose. I wrote that down. I said that? Yes. on the Halloween episode last year.
Okay. Man.
Go listen to it.
Apparently, I got to go back.
You were very had some good advice about art.
I think I do remember thinking that. I don't remember saying that, but okay, cool, great.
You said it very well.
It's a garden hose, and it keeps.
Despite
you control
everything you do,
like yeah,
you somehow are able to be inspirational and positive. That's another thing we talk about all the time. We're both deeply negative, cynical people, but this podcast brings out the weirdly positive parts of us.
It's true. It does.
It's nice.
It's the creative part. It's the part where like by making things is the only reason that I'm not angry all the time. It's because when I make things is when I'm happiest.
Same.
Yeah.
Same. And when I'm learning things.
Yeah.
So on that note, I'll see you at the Sex Raft pool party in
the Richard Nixon Sex Raft.
Sorry.
Let's just call it the Richard Nixon Sex Raft.
I'll see you at the No, it's not even Dickie Nixie. It's just Richard Nixon. I'll see you at the Richard Nixon.
Nixon's a Richard.
I'll see you at the Richard Milhouse Nixon Sex Raft. Okay?
Before then, if you also have an email that you'd like to submit, please send it to 500opentabs@gmail.com.
Right.
That's 500. Additionally, we're on social media. We are on Instagram where we post shorts and stuff. Please subscribe to the YouTube. Please consider becoming a member of our Patreon where we have extras. I'm
There's
at PermaFriends
so
on
stuff.
Instagram. Yeah. Oh, I'm PermaFriends on Instagram. Hannah, you are Hannah Hillam on everything. I'm also on Blue Sky, which I post my ramblings on as well. Thank you, Alyssa. Thank you to everybody who wrote in. I believe that's all the stuff I had to cram in before we end the show. But yes, thank you. And I will see you, Hannah, at I'm just going to call it the Dickie Nixie Sex Raft in the middle of the Atlantic.
Okay.
In a hurricane.
See you.
You know what? We can combine the two. We have the Gwen Stefani tribute toilet on the Sex Raft with Richard Nixon pool party. Holy shit, it's all coming in together. This pool party just got crazier.
This pool party just got way more
diarrhea in it.
Unethical. And way more diarrhea in it.
No, okay. I'm going to see you at the Gwen Stefani tribute toilet on the Richard Nixon Sex Raft in the middle of the Atlantic. Okay.
And I will also see you at the Gwen Stefani tribute hole on the Sex Raft. No, on the what he said. Ditto.
Don't give up. Keep creating.